There is one very popular cartoon in Russia, and it's called 38 Parrots. The height of a boa was being measured by a parrot, and they got to know that its length was 38 parrots. So for your better understanding, we will say that on territory of Russia, you can place 33 Spains. Such a big country it is. It is not an easy country, where the climate is terrible in some regions. It is difficult to live there, and the biggest part of it is called Siberia. It is cold there, and people with a strong character live there. Anastasia has relatives from there on her father's side, so we will tell a little bit about them. Siberia as a motherland of ancestors on Anastasia's father's side. It is easy to understand what Siberia is if you compare it with the Wild West of America. There weren't landlords as well. People who were free, strong, and were not afraid of difficult living conditions wanted to live there. In 1907, a law which said that each newcomer will be given lots of land was released. Few have dared to go, but Anastasia's great-grandparents went. They were a big family, parents and 4 sons. They moved, got lots of land, and each year spent on building houses to each of the sons. In such a way, the whole village appeared. Everyone lived friendly and wealthy. The decision to move to Siberia saved the family from 2 wars. The Europe was conquering. The city was full of ruins. Villages were burned. But Siberia was far from this cataclysm. If not, maybe we wouldn't be sitting together now. Grandfather was born in Siberia. He was 12th in a row baby. In those years, the number of children was not uncommon, but was the norm. He was very moving and sportive. He went in geological expeditions, where they were looking for gold, oil, and other minerals. Then his life is closely linked with energy. As being a good specialist, he was often exchanged in different regions of Russia, where he opened the new plant. From that time, moving from place to place has become a trend, appropriate to the surname. Karakov equals Walkman. Grandma. She is from the indigenous people of Siberia, and everyone says she was extremely beautiful. They could not meet and do not fall in love with each other. Baltic young man with blue eyes and a local girl with amazing white skin and a completely black hair. They say that from very different, far in the blood people's special children are usually born. There were 2 of them, disobedient, wayward, Tatiana, and vice versa, very quiet, unhurried Alexander. Such different kids. The way to Moscow. They say that the initiator of this was Grandma. She wanted the children to get a good education and constantly pushed her husband to the European part of Russia. Because of a good specialist, he was invited to new objects. The family often moved, and as the result appeared in Saratov, a city with a high cultural level, one of the 7 cities, which was famous for its universities. Both children were taken to the best local schools, and later Anastasia's dad left to enter the Moscow Institute. Anastasia's mother's relatives. The love story of Stasia's grandparents on her mother's side is decent of a film, and what is most important, a film with a happy ending. Great-grandmother on her father's side was from a wealthy Polish noble generation. Great-grandfather was the director of mines in Krasnodon, and was killed by enemies of the Soviet authority. Their only son was Boris, future father of Anastasia's mother. Their acquaintance took Krasnodon-Luhansk region at a party, as well as through many years of Anastasia's parents met. Grandfather took his young wife from German-occupied Krasnodon, where later their many friends were shot down and became heroes of the Soviet Union for resisting the Germans. Young couple in love drove half the country in crowded military echelons and has come to Stalingrad, where there were violent fights. Grandmother Anna, who soon has given birth to their first daughter, Lyudmila, worked until the last days before birth in the hospital, taking care of the wounded, singing them songs. Millions of people died so close, and our young heroes not only survived, but became the parents of wonderful girl, and further in the year of victory, of son Yeroshka. In the difficult post-war years, the family had to seek happiness in different parts of the former Soviet Union, from Ukraine to Georgia, until they moved to Zaporozhye city, the largest industrial center of Ukraine. and many years after the war, in quiet, peaceful, and happy time, Anastasia's mother, Irina, was born. The couple lived till an old age together and celebrated the golden wedding anniversary, 50 years, on which little Anastasia read touching poems. Until the last months of his life, grandfather talked to grandmother. "Oh, my dear kitty." He died first and appeared to his beloved in dreams, and Granny Anna gave Irina an inherited family heirloom, a handbag with a touching love notes they wrote to each other for many years. Moscow as a meeting place of Anastasia's parents. Meeting of Anastasia's parents, as it often happens, happened by accident. They studied at different institutions and met at a party which was organized by the Baltic students. In the same building for many years before meeting of Anastasia's parents, the future first president of Russia, Mikhail Gorbachev, and his wife Raisa met. Anastasia's birth. Anastasia was a very expected child, although the times were not easy then. Communist country collapsed, there was a change of eras. The stores did not have anything except matches and tea. Products, as in time of war, were sold for the cards, and parents had to turn around and find new ways. Mom opened her own travel agency. Daddy, a business in a sphere of information. Anastasia before meeting Guillaume. She was not as athletic as she is now. Evidently this is the influence of Guillaume. She was more interested in art, and thanks to her mom's work, she has traveled the world and seen many countries. The teachings come easily, but she was never a nerd. She referred to learning responsibly. When the question arose about going for MBA to another country, the parents did not hesitate. Girl was serious and independent, and you know what happened next. In Madrid, she met Guillaume, and it's forever.